All right. So, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining in today uh, for a new series of Meet Your Design School. Today's series is all about, or this is the culmination, or rather, the initiation of the first of the series for 2023, where we're inviting various schools of design and fashion to interact with you. There are a few objectives of this kind of a session is so that you get to number one interact with the top management of the respective design school. You get to understand their philosophy and why they exist and why you should consider their school seriously for your admission in 2023. So today's session is with United World Institute of Design, which is they have two campuses, one in Ahmedabad and one in NCR. The session is we've invited Colonel Surojit Bose, who's joined us today. Colonel Bose is one of the most illustrious faculty over there. He's the director of academics. I need to read this out now. He's the director of academics and international collaborations of UID. He's also been instrumental to obtain UID's membership to premium associations like World Design Organization and Cumulus Organization, right? So prior to this, he used to work with ISDI Parsons Mumbai. He's formed the collaborations with Parsons New York and Paris. He's also been with Pearl Academy prior to this. He's headed international relations with various companies and fostered partnerships with various companies and design schools, including London College of Fashion, Gordon Brown Canada. There's a lot of specific colleges to mention. I'm just probably going to skip that. He's been an able administrator for the UK government sponsored UK IERI projects for the academic research and faculty, staff and student mobility, right? So there's a lot more that he's done. He's coordinated partnerships with National Skills Development Council, apparel made up home furnishing sectors, skill council, and media and entertainment skills council. I'm going to mute a few people. Requesting everyone to put their mics on mute. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So Colonel Bose is a proud recipient of the Chief of Army Staff Commendation Card for illustrious military service over 23 years and has to his credit many prestigious staff, command, and instructional appointments in field and counter-insurgency areas. Colonel Bose is a master's in business administration from Delhi Productivity Council as part of Delhi University. Colonel Bose, thank you so much for joining in today. I think I've muted you.
No, I'm okay now.
You're okay. Okay. Yeah, right. Thanks so much for joining in. And we're looking forward to hearing about UID and what UID has to offer. I'm going to stop my screen share right now, and you can take it over from here.
Yeah. So great, guys, and all the wonderful people who aspire to be tomorrow's designers. I'll just, sometimes I speak so much that I think Dion will have to stop me because take over to the more areas that's question and answers, So you'll have a number of questions and it'll be my duty to answer some of them. And to that you're satisfied that you're looking at today the largest design school in India as far as the student numbers go, as far as the state universities go. So just a few pointers. In the morning, we just had a delegation from the US Consulate General. They had come to the embassy, and out of all the institutions after the CM's office, they came directly to UID. So gradually, we are making waves not only in India, across the world. 80 of my students are in Melbourne, doing what is the one of its kind called the BDES Honors Global Design Program, where they go to Italy for 15 weeks, 16 weeks. They go to Australia, do something which is unique called the Design Factory. A design factory is something where a lot of interdisciplinarity and the new way of design is coming up. If you see on our board, they're all faculty and emeritus professors of IDC, IIT Mumbai, who have started the new way of that inflection point where design is gradually meeting tech and emerging tech. Why am I so proud? Because I have, and for the first time in our ecosystem, an entire BTech computational intelligence computer sciences school, which is delivering BTech, is the scaffolding of UID. So when my students do their simple design project and their complex design project and ideation concept from a 2D to 3D and to prototypes, whether it is a product, whether it's a service, or whether it's an experience, they have that in the year 2, they will be taught creative coding in the 3rd and 4th semester. Their complexities of design deal with AI, ML, big data, computing, and maybe somewhere in the 3rd year, before they go for their internships, they start looking at something in the blockchain also, which is coming fast and clear. So that is the power. And we need to empower our designers that they take the high table, whether they meet other places. And unfortunately, I couldn't meet Dion when I was in Bombay because I was with Tata Elxsi. And few of my students interned in Tata Elxsi, which we know is started this whole area of having a lot of best students there. There are many more stories because design is also telling stories, but design is also creative thinking. So this is the type of the book where the first page deals with their exponential ways they can harness the power of design thinking, creative thinking, and also make things which are required that they provide delight to our programmers. So this is again a book which I'm trying to show that each faculty member has to start looking at preparing, doing PhD, preparing their publication, whether it's a chapter, and we are aligned. And maybe in some time we can declare that the design school, which has the maximum number of faculty with PhD, with doctoral programs. So at UID, we not only look at a 4-year BDES honors, others do BDES, we do BDES honors because we want an alignment with the international UK-based, US-based, and Europe-based institutions, where even if you go from one institution to the other and there's a lateral entry and a lateral exit, you can get into with a BDES honors. So pardon me sharing my screen on why should you look at UID. Gopal, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So the aim of today was to tell you how to choose a design school. And I think that is something which is uppermost in your mind before you make a good decision of what should be the institution where you would like to go. So some of the things I've told you, some of the things we are in the process of working our curriculum in such a way that at the end you can make a dissertation project, which we can do into an IPR, and you can protect your design and all your ideas. So those are some of the ways we need to look at design. Just give me a moment because the slides are taking some time in movement. Is there a way we can move the slides? Gopal?
Yes, sir.
Somewhere it is getting stuck somewhere, my slides, but I'll keep talking on how we are looking at, I'll just get out of the stop share.
Sharing. Yeah, stop share and try
Yeah,
sharing it again. Yeah.
and then I'll just share it again. Just give me. So,
Yes, the screen is visible now.
yeah, so let me do it this way. Yeah.
All right.
So this is, so it is not what design is, what looks, because design is a very, very hands-on approach. It is through what is called design tools and design learning. It is through a book, and not so much a book, a process of immersion into that knowledge. And ultimately, it is how the design process makes you move from a 2D to a 3D. And therefore, what are we looking at in a design school? We are looking at faculty, teaching pedagogy. We are looking at how we are aligned to the world of design, nationally, internationally. Do we have a creative campus which is allowing students to actually soar and reach the sky, and having the small places, big places, a huge amount of infrastructure? Means if someone comes and looks at my future labs and my maker arena, which I think is one of the largest within the design university or design schools, even legacy schools, you'll be able to understand the amount of focus, investment we make so that our students do the very best. And of late, we have also started moving at students going for international placements, international internships. Somewhere it started with the COVID, and now it has become such that they are getting huge amount of salaries. Some of them I'd like to share with you. So it's not only that there are field trips, you go and understand people and perspectives, you go to bazaars, you take photographs, bring it into a diary, bring it into a book, and then make design education so much experiential. So what are some of the areas I look at? 3,500 students, a faculty base of 1:10, 1:12, a wonderful internationally benchmarked curriculum, internationally benchmarked facilities in campus, and such a lot of areas in which now we are moved from a 40-acre campus in Ahmedabad to a 100-acre campus in Gurugram, Sona Road, where not only you have what is called a swimming pool, Olympic size, you have a shooting range, you have huge areas where you can practice some of the things which you'd like to go. So as we know, Ahmedabad is one of the safest cities. It gives a lot of assurance to parents and the larger diversity of people. UID is an institution where students are from 24 states. Similarly, our faculty are from nearly 18 states. So it's a very diverse intermixture of very focused attention, not only to detail, but to a lot of other aspects, which are heritage, India's first heritage city. We have moved to NCR, and this is the first year, the first semester. And gradually we are getting a lot of attention of looking at Delhi being one of the fashion capitals of India. The huge industrial complex which is around the NCR, the type of new industries, creative businesses which are coming up. So let me share a little bit of can we see if you can hear the, can you hear it, Gopal?
No, no, sir.
No?
The video is visible, but the audio is not there.
Okay, let me again do the stop share and start again. Yeah.
Sir, click on both the options. There'll be dialog boxes.
Yeah. So, it shows only one, but yeah. 1 second. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm sorry for getting into a little bit of a hassle.
That's perfectly all right.
Yeah. Because sometimes we get into this. 1 second. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So are we back, Gopal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me share a little bit about the wonderful campus we have, and let me know if you can. So one of the questions which comes up, why study design in UID? I mean, that's a question which is uppermost on your mind. Why should you look at UID? And what is that special, that extra edge, that extra what we can provide, which others think they can provide? So one is a very, very experienced team of faculty. Believe you me, there are 150 faculty, out of which 42 are already pursuing their PhDs. We have about 20 PhDs in campus. Why I'm stressing on PhD and research? Because the job of a university is to create new knowledge, especially in the areas where there's a huge potential for working with industry, working with NGOs, working with partners. State-of-the-art, cutting-edge tech workshops. So we have Center of Excellence of Felder, we have Center of Excellence of Ultimaker, we have a whole Hitachi, AR, VR, Metaverse, Future Labs. We have a very diversified team, and there are many areas where our alumni are doing proud. Would you believe that we got a call from our first alumni who passed out in 2016? And on Tuesday, she's coming to address the interaction design students because she's working in Germany. She's come during the festivities and wants to address the students. So that is the type of ecosystem we make. The other part is that 4 or 5 things which are now part of our curriculum. One is there will be one design in India or discover design in India type of a program where the faculty and students will spend 10 days in any part of India, capturing whatever is designed, making the craft documentation, coming to campus. Every team and the faculty get the same stipend per day. So you and your faculty, if you have to travel on a bullock cart, you have to travel on a jet plane, travel by train, travel by whichever class, all are together. And that is then projected in our international global called the Ahmedabad Design Week 3.0. 4 weeks of apprenticeship between 2nd and 3rd year, 12 weeks of internship in the 3rd year, an interdisciplinary project where you can work with the School of Computational Intelligence, you can work with the School of Business, or you can work with a similar school. So fashion and visual communication, product and interaction design with something in the lifestyle accessory design. So there's a huge area where the interdisciplinarity in which design education is now moving, the ask of the industry, the ask of the next level of people is what has now been ingrained And the last part is in your dissertation, which was part of a juried process as your graduation project, you have to, like a B school, also have a dissertation project of 3 or dissertation of 3 credits, which you can make it into a ISBN, it can be a chapter, it can be published. So that is the level of type of empowerment and the profiling we would like to do of our UID students. And you will get to know as I go forward in my presentation, why design is getting so much of attention. So if you look at the top 10 companies, most are designer led. I don't want to talk of Elon Musk. I don't want to talk of iPhones. I don't want to talk of others, whether it's Alphabet, whether there's a huge amount from Facebook upwards, metaverse networks, but on the high table, we now have chief design officers. So when I went to meet Tata Elxsi, when we meet all the design companies, we find, and we are so happy to see that it is the designers who are now ruling some of it. I met the Reliance trend, people in Bangalore, I met export houses, various places I find down the chain from top to low hierarchy have alumni of some of our best design schools and some of them who have come back after doing their masters. So how do we look at design learning? Design pedagogy and design curriculum are very much part of our DNA. We have advisory boards for each of the curricula. It takes nearly a year or more with people from the industry, people from international universities. How do you think the global design program was incubated? Co-created by 3 universities, Swinburne Institute of Technology, Melbourne, Domus Nava in Italy, Nottingham Trent, and 2 other universities in UK. All the faculty sat together to make something so that there's how a course can be developed, how a curriculum can be developed, so that students are so global and they can easily find jobs not only nationally, internationally, but also through think of doing some of the masters abroad. And where we come in is to create support structures to create the design environment. So where we take primacy in discussing, and I have discussed in various forums, what are the 3 main areas we would like to look at design education in UID? Uppermost is design skills and design tools. So whole of a year, whether it's spent up to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in a gated campus, safe campus, in the workshop studios, where you learn whether it's wood, metal, whether it's 3D, whether it's wood crafting, you get to understand material, you get to understand the tools with a huge database of technicians to help you. And that is that at each space, each stage of your development, from a pencil to a paper, to making 3D structures, to actually make it in underscale, art scale, it is a whole development process. And the whole first year goes into that. But what we do is that come the midterm of your second semester, you gradually move into the areas where now you have a confirmation. Your faculty have told you this has been your passion, that you are moving into product, you're moving into interaction design, you're moving to fashion, you're moving into visual communication, you're moving into animation and media. So their teachers gradually start entering the classrooms and taking you forward. Since design is so much experiential, design looks at so many parts now. It's societies, at humanities, at tech, at basic art, culture. So gradually you start understanding, collecting a lot of data, meticulous research in all the projects, and it's so much project work. So at the end of each semester, you will have an integrated project which summarizes, with concises all your learning into a project form, where after that there's a display. And therefore we laid a lot of emphasis on design process. In case a design process are the most credit bearing, has the largest time, gets a lot of faculty, national, international, into your classroom, so that you are fully understanding the core of design, which is the design process. today design, and you will see one of my PPTs, one of my videos, how it has become an amalgamation. Now it is not only design thinking, critical thinking, but also there's a systems design, there's service design. There are all types of small structures of design, and each of them, this slide is emblematic of how design is moving, where there are management, there's B school, there's brand you need to understand. You need to go the entrepreneurial, intrapreneurial, and the incubation part. You need to understand humanities, psychology. You need to undergo ethnographic studies to understand what we are talking about. And then you need to know tech, which is giving you that edge as a UIDN over many others. So why do we look at what is the future of the skills requirement? And this is a forum, World Economic Forum slide on what are the types of what needs to be in a designer to be successful. There was no chief design officer 5 years, 10 years back. People didn't use their mobiles as they are using now. So much stress on ergonomics. There's such a lot of stress on new areas, ideas coming into design education. And we thought that before we do the curriculum, we do a proper metric measurement of how these become part of the course outcomes and the learning outcomes. And why am I talking so freely? Because all the discussion is how to make the curriculum strong, future-proof, a student where all these aspects are catered for in the top skills requirement in the year 25 and beyond. So when you look at my syllabus, you'll find there's a dissertation, there are internships, there's a design foundation, where is the same for all the 13, 14 sections I have, or maybe 15, 16. Every year we are actually growing as the fastest in the whole of India's space. And you can check us out on the type of students whom we are coming in through a 3-tier design aptitude test. And it's also my honor to inform you that our design aptitude test is on the 29th of January, which is a Sunday, wherein you will undergo a pen and paper test. You will undergo after in the month of April, you'll come to campus and undergo a studio situation material test and your portfolio, 20 minutes of exchange on your portfolio. All three look at how we look at the passion in you, how the three match, and then you become as you get a invitation to come and join UIT. Our masters are very, very research oriented. They actually equate level 7 expectations of the UK QAA standards. Initially, there's a 3-month of onboarding through a bridge program or a foundation. Would you be surprised that within, so yesterday while I was visiting, and we have a large bunch on our MDes visual communication, there was 100% attendance. I had 10 computer engineers. I had 2 dental doctors. I had people who have done other aspects. So it's such a team of a very diverse nature who are trying to get into masters in design. So there are engineers, there are doctors, there are people who have worked outside as part of IT, and they have all joined to look at why design is making so much sense to the world now. So why do I measure myself? How do I measure myself? I'm trying to give you a report of my, quite similar to as I report to our academic council or the board of management or the governing council. Our faculty are excelling in a number of places, nationally and internationally. Their papers are being accepted. They are being called as jurors. They have been called to manage teams across the world. And it's not only one discipline. In multi-disciplines, our faculty are showcasing in World Design Organization, Cumulus Organization, IFT. They're being called at various institutions. They're part of the board of studies. Can you imagine in JJ School, in MSU, in Baroda, in Delhi. So our faculty are part not only as external examiners, but also as part of the board of studies of a number of universities across India. Adobe, which is a national and an international brand, has given me commendation for excellence in curriculum design. And I had taken a lot of time to explain to you how important three aspects: curriculum, delivery, faculty, and infrastructure. That is the ecosystem we would like to create at UID, so that as future designers, you're part of this. If you look at the right screen, you have the president of the World Design Organization. You have someone from the dean or the provost from Parsons. You have the ex-director of NID. You have someone from the International Interaction Design World. You have the head president of ICOGRADA. You have the president of the ADI, that is the Association of Designers India. And there were 4,000 students, parents, faculty attending this online presentation. You see another Ahmedabad Design Week 2.0. You have Sri Anil Agarwal, Foxconn, and Vedanta are combining to set up the next level of small chips and such a lot of idea into India when the world is failing in this production. You have the head of CII, you have so many other people. So that's the level we would like to reach, where we not only make sense internationally, but also nationally, so that look at the next level of building and empowering designers in India. Last year, we looked at how to help the Atmanirbharta, how to help in the design, which is required so much in defense equipment, small scale, large scale, how they would like, how it will benefit a number of jobs in India. So this is the Chief of Army Staff presenting to our president. We have a whole ecosystem of the corporate resource center, which helps students. So one part which I think is unique is something called the graded portfolio management. In our servers, your portfolio, when you are in semester 3, and you have got some understanding and you have got a lot of work you have done in your projects, you capture your portfolio. Again, in semester 5, a system of jury looks at your portfolio, it's captured in the server. Before you go to internship and after you come back from internship, we have another round of 1 week of portfolio development design, because by then you have been able to put all your projects into your portfolio. They are captured in our servers. Everyone, because we understand your portfolio is a passport for success. And therefore, we need that team within the department or a cross-departmental team to look so that your portfolio stands out amongst competition. So these are some of the areas where not only we help you in writing your cover letters, improving your resume, how to do mock tests, how to be part of in mock interviews. So prepare you fully is some responsibility we take. So we have some of the top recruiters, but what gives me today the highest joy, that my student is now internationally employed. He's getting a placement, and see the amount of what he is getting as part of his offer letter. 2 students went into work. Students are getting now a very high end because they have proven themselves as good. They have worked very hard over the 4 years. I always tell all the students' parents that design is quite a serious business. You have to really work hard, and only then the reward of design is what you are going to receive. So students are working nationally, internationally, everywhere. UID students are making us proud. See the tweet from the head of Amul, which is the largest dairy movement. This is a semester 5 student, so he So we look at design and innovation. So you're innovated. While the milk is getting collected, you can collect gobar gas and both can be deposited in a cooperative system. Amongst all design schools in India, we won the maximum number of prizes in a global challenge. So 9 people were feted. Some got the other prizes, some got the mentions. So this is something great for an institution to celebrate. Our students are winning the Oscars. So there's an Oscar in jewelry I didn't know, which is in UK. So she got the silver award in Oscars. Our students are winning animation. They are doing a lot of animation. They're winning prizes. So let me share one animation after this.
This is about a story of nothing. You will literally get nothing out of this. Yes, nothing.
So let me share something which is slightly more humorous. Yeah.
Yes, I can push. You can shut up.
So part of our MOD, the MOUs we have with some of the top universities also allow our students to get some sort of scholarships to do their masters abroad. So if you can see, they are going to some of the top universities across the world in getting their masters, whether it's Coventry, London School of Fashion, Domus. So this carries on and on as part of something, how well we prepare them to go to these places. We also have a number of joint projects. So this is a denim project which was made for the Milan Design Week. 13 students of ours, 13 students of Institute of Modatech, which is near the Leaning Tower of Pisa, is one of the top universities of Italy. Students worked in the area of denim. And would you know that Ahmedabad is the denim capital of the world? 70% of the denim of the world is produced in and around where our campus is situated. Number of very strong partnerships where we work with the embassies, we work with consul generals, during COVID time or after COVID, sending students all the way to Italy, so sending students to Australia, next to UK. There's a whole infrastructure and a staff which makes all these very smooth and fluid and seamless. This is a little bit about the global design program. We are short of time, so I'm not showing some of the videos they have created. But the fact is that they were in Italy, they reached Italy, they completed NABA, then they've come to Swinburne, they're undergoing 15, 16 weeks of deep training on very interdisciplinary projects, plus specialist areas. But we also look at master classes by some of the top people, international institutions, national, so that the student gets a support and a complement to the classroom. So there's projects, there's classroom, there's studios, there are workshops, and then some guide from top talks about their inspiration journey and how we look at not only them for a few weeks, but also a lot of block teaching by international experts, by national heads who come to campus at various points in time, do a lot of workshops, lot of work with the students, take them through their journeys, take them through how to make them successful. Each school has what is called a creative event, where there's a display of the work of students, very well organized, and the students are there. The students take full in charge. So few things we have: a mentor-mentee as part of a credited structure, a leadership lab, and a research in library. Few areas which, as per the NEP 2020, have now become mandatory as part of our teaching. The infrastructure, I think most people are very well knowing the type of infrastructure UID has in both the campuses. Some of the most creative campus where in India, where there's inspiration in all corners, in places where you can work, you can study, you can play. Creating an inspirational campus also goes to having part of it as the design ecosystem we have here. Sports, the new maker arena, which is already making waves. About so many students across India have come and visited. Other universities have tried to find out what is it that we have now created as the maker arena, where students can spend the whole day, work from the teacher to into the classroom, some of the most high-tech equipment, a digital future lab. When we go around the world, we try to take inspiration from what others are doing in the world, and so that no Indian is anyway disadvantaged for lack of infrastructure and you have to go and hire workshops outside the campus. We have brought in everything to the campus. Some of the top level manufacturers, Ultimaker, Hitachi, we have classes on AR, VR, XR, metaverse, so holograms. So everything is available for the students to actualize themselves, and the faculty push behind them as mentors so that their prototype, their creativity gets that type of a recognition. Not only recognition, but also registration. Last time we had 156 IPRs, copyrights, trademarks, patents, design registrations. And this time our appetite is to have 250 in the month of February when we do the next round of registration of student IPs. The other part is that where you bring, one last, and I think you should get, just one last. I just want to show something which we have brought, which is unique. That is a craft village inside the campus.
India has been a melting pot of art, literature, music, and culture since time immemorial. And the legacy of all these have been passed on from generation to generation. Karnavati University, one of the very young and leading universities of India, has been a torchbearer in upholding and carrying forward the heritage and legacy of indigenous art and designs. The initiative culminates in a one-of-its-kind crafts village located within the lush green campus of the university, wherein artisans from different fields and skills merge to create magic for the world to see and experience. The Crafts Village provides a stage for local artists, sculptors, traditional handicrafts and handloom experts and many others to come and not only create but also share a piece of their glorious heritage to the world. The noble idea is propelled by the philosophy of protecting, preserving and promoting the local art and culture of a vibrant and colourful civilization for the whole world to learn, collaborate and fuse with other art forms. The initiative also emphasizes on contributing towards a circular economy, helping the survival and sustenance of the artists and art forms in the long run too.
So there are two incubators where students can get funding so that whatever they've works towards it. So these are some of the projects being worked. Students go on a number of field projects. So ultimately, what is the UID Edge? And that's the last two slides of my presentation before we open up to question and answers, is that a very internationally benchmarked curriculum, strong links with industry, innovative, cutting edge, state-of-the-art labs, number of international and national faculty to get them into the space that they can be equated with any other design school internationally. I think I would skip this, and thank you very much. And let's get open to a number of questions and see how we can take it forward. Yeah.
All right, Professor, thanks so much. If anyone has questions, it would be great to ask now. We're starting with questions from Mrinalini Rao, who's asking, aptitude tests are conducted online or offline? Are they conducted online or offline? Portfolio discussions and interviews, are they done face-to-face or on Zoom?
Okay. So I thought this is quite a natural question to ask. Before the COVID, we had three stages where the first stage was in 25 cities in India, which was physical, pen and paper, on ground with our faculty and our teams in those. Last year, because at the month of January, there was a scare and it was an online design aptitude test. This year, again, most probably we are going to have an online design aptitude test, very well birthed, nested through very good AI-enabled side of an ecosystem where there's nearly foolproof. The portfolio and the studio test will be in campus. That's in the month of March, April, where you come with your portfolios. You are given two tests, one individually, one maybe in teams. We look at psychographical areas, your concept, your passion to move with some material. You're given a theme. At the end, everything is photographed, kept. You have to write a little bit. What was the design process followed? You have to give a caption, and you are marked on that. And the next day, 20 minutes of portfolio discussions, evaluation. And we know that portfolios can be anything physical, digital, not necessarily only about drawing, but also these things bring. So the aim of the jury, one juror from outside, a very experienced person, one internal faculty, to see your passion and see there's a connectivity between them. Yeah. Does that answer the question? If anything else is required? Yeah.
I hope so. If you need any further clarifications, do let us know. Before we go on to the next question, I just wanted to show that we have UID listed on DQ Edge as one of the preferred schools. The application link to UID is placed here. Please click on this link and apply, because Mr. Gopal Krishnan is here. He's your single point of contact for DQ Labs applicants from this link. So any issue you can reach out to him directly. So that would be very important. This is the place where I'm introducing Gopal to you. His contact details are available with Swati, so she will help you out with that. Okay. So I'm going to stop the screen share, and again I'm going to go to the next set of questions. How do I choose between global design program and BDES honors locally? Is it a required choice in your applications? This is a question from Karlekar.
Yeah, so the answer is true. When you look at the application, you can apply for the global design program, and there's a choice between your first preference and second preference. And by the time you come and you clear and your last choice is given, you can choose between the two. There is a fraction, which is the cost of the tuition in that. So it is at a slightly higher price point of the global design, knowing fully well that global design would require many other areas. So these are all well explained by our marketing team, by the outreach team. Whenever they go, any specific questions can be answered. But the short answer is that it is one of the choices in the application. You can take it. This will be the 4th batch of global. So 1 batch is here, next year going somewhere, 2 batches are outside India. So this is something now which has found its place. There's a lot of competition to get into the global design program, but such unique type of program is somewhere in the B school or in the intra-disciplinary areas of some top-end schools nationally and internationally. So it is something which is a first, very well recognized. In case we have to cap the number of entries because of the type of the popularity of this program.
All right.
So just a small thing to add to that.
Okay.
So there have also been queries related to this because there are students who are confused between the 2 courses and they they want to opt for both. So what I'll suggest is opt any one only because that's a mandatory thing. Go for any one option. And if you want to, later on, if you want to change to the other course, that is from BDES regular to GDP and vice versa, you're free to do that till the session starts and even 10 days more than that. Right? After that, we close the window. So you're welcome to change before that. Just what you have to do is put in a mail request to us. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Gopal.
Thank you.
Going on to the next question. How many items does a portfolio need to include? A question from Shashank Hebar.
So I have a presentation on portfolio, which I will share with Dion and with Gopal, which looks at various types of portfolios, some international portfolios. So what goes into making a portfolio? And this, so today the time is not there, but I'll share it with you and it can be shared with the students. It has got exemplars of the best. The good part is that portfolio is nothing that it is only a collectivity of things. It is whatever you think you have done in your growing up years. It could be a poem. It could be a book you have published. It could be some digital, some online, what you have made. Some even 1 or 2 photographs is as good as your portfolio, as long before the people you have been able to explain the reasons and how and why this aspect was so passionate, so material. So I've had students in that 20 just talking about the book they have done from class 9, 10 onwards, a collective of various things. So the aim of a portfolio is that it shows that how passionate you have been in your understanding of design or specific areas of design. So there's no, a ready mix of formula of what portfolio has. Portfolio are something which is so personal to you. And it shows through your face, your body language, and what you project in front of the jurors. And they are very, very experienced people with 13, 14, 20 years of having dealt in this. So they'll be able to ask those questions to understand that we only look at how passionate you are of entering into the area. We understand that like our face, our bodies, every portfolio will be different. You will be able to explain why you have done what you have done. And that's a portfolio. There's nothing to get worried about. It should have 10 pictures. It should have this. In case you should be driving something which is differentiated from others and able to project your personality through whatever work you have done. That's, I think, an answer portfolio. But there are many examples of digital and other portfolios. Some portfolios which have been made and the explanation behind it. I have 2-3 videos and a little bit of explanation. I think I'll share it with Gopal, will share it with Dion, and you can send it to this lady or gentleman, whoever want to understand about it. Yeah.
All right. Right, Colonel Bose. Thank you so much for that. I'll definitely share that with the students. There's a question from Radhika Rao, which I think has been answered about the Global Design Program. Radhika, if you have further questions, please type it in. I'm going to take one of the questions from YouTube. There's someone on YouTube asking a question who's saying, as PU exams may also be in March, April, it may clash with the round 2 of the UID exam. So any comments on that?
So the round 2 is very specific to you. There are a number of 15 to 20 days. There's a long flexibility on the dates. So you choose whichever date you want to come. If you are in the neighborhood, you are doing something else, you are stationed somewhere, there's huge flexibility. So what could be a question about a clash on the date of a design aptitude test is understandable, and therefore we have fixed a date after knowing what others have projected, and we are earlier projected. Seeing us, many would like to change their dates because of the popularity of UID today across pan India as also neighboring countries, where we get a lot of inquiries about coming to do their, because of the campus, because of infrastructure, because of the so many other things. I don't want to go on that. We have been so when I say it's the largest design school, I say it with a lot of responsibility on the type of growth we have had, and that gives us also that we can't now afford to even come down a bit. We have to only aim higher and higher and higher. So that is not an issue. This is catered for. You will never have a clash. The day you wish to come, that you can arrive on that day.
Right. Indumati Rao, I hope your question has been answered. Right. Now, moving to the next question from Vidya Vishwanathan. The portfolio can be anything, means even performances. Can we put a performance in the portfolio? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even performance, in case our design aptitude test part 2, when you are in campus, and that is one way where your parents, so as they say in English, seeing is believing. You can come here, you can ask senior students, you can ask junior students, you can ask the driver, you can ask the mess staff, and where am I getting into? So we provide that platform so that you, your parents, and all who have accompanied get a comprehensive understanding. You see our labs, you see everything, because it is unless I'm transparent, unless I show that type of large-heartedness of showing everything, only then you should be able to take that decision. And I would like that to take a conscious decision.
All right. Thank you. Priya Krishnan is asking, is the interaction for both campuses the same? The test and the interaction, is it the same?
Yeah, it is the same. We have a common design aptitude test, which is for both the campuses. So the people who are choosing a campus, they'll have a similar interaction in that campus. So the ones who are choosing here will have that interaction for this campus. And it is the same student experience, which would like not only in the design aptitude test, but even during each and every part of the delivery between the two campuses. So if there is an international campus, so there are people who are coming from Italy from 15th to 20th November as part of our MOU with Politecnico da Milano. So Polyme is coming to do 3 workshops. They're coming to NCR and they are doing that workshop. Then they will come here and do it with our students. Similarly, if we have an international faculty, they teach here, they teach both places. So that at least on the measurement quotient of student experience is the same, and they just harness the ecosystem of that place to push themselves higher.
All right. Thank you. Akshay Arun is asking a question. I'm going to build up a little on this. What is different between UID and any other college in India? What does UID offer that is different, or how is UID different? So you did the whole presentation about that, but if you can probably stress upon maybe 2 or 3 key points, that would be good for as a takeaway.
So I could show that presentation, only those last 2 presentations. What is the UID edge? How is the edge? Which is the edge? Because that's where the differentiator or that delta between us and others come in. Yeah.
Would you like to share that?
Yeah. I'll just share one that part of my presentation where I come to the last part, which is the second. No, 1 second. I'll just take it. Can you all see this, or it's yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Gopal, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
So this is a little bit that there are two areas we would like to see us as differentiators. A is a university where one of the schools is 35 on the NIRF, our oldest school, the School of Dentistry. Some of the largest numbers of faculty who are doing their PhD, postdoctoral and doctoral. A gated 40-acre campus, Ahmedabad being the older one of the safest cities in India. The strong links of industry. We have started getting placements which are now international placements, which is something to be proud of, something to fet our students to getting into that. All what we have, which we can say profit or what we are moving, is all into moving into infrastructure and faculty. All year round. So when you come, you will find that we have got not the current 4 or 5, about 15 or 16 international faculty. At 6:30, I'm having a call with University of Illinois. All the university, the MOU is very clear. Your faculty have to come and do block teaching, or we hire someone for 6 months or minimum 1 month of doing a block teaching. You can see, you can follow us on Insta, you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us to see the type of faculty and the work which we are providing. Yeah, because in this world, no one will give you a place or a placement unless they see value in it. And when my CRD, which is a pan-India, they tell me that people have liked our students, they are very hardworking. Students go all the way for immersion to Ladakh, they go to all parts of India, they go on international visits. So all this brings in them that type of confidence that they can take on the world. So differentiator is the largest design school in India, 150 faculty members, faculty student ratio of 1:10, 1:12, 1:15. A process of a mentoral support throughout your journey of 4 years. Lot of emphasis on research, lot of emphasis on innovation. The only institution, maybe I don't know if others, where you are given protection of your design through IPR filing by you, patent filing by you, mentored throughout by your faculty. A number of areas where we look at how we can allow you to follow your passion within the classroom, outside the classroom. A wonderful system and process of a ERP do. So one student, parent wrote to me yesterday that you have missed out one syllable in the name of my daughter. And we found out that there are 3 daughters with the same name and nearly 2 of them in the same course. So every aspect with the students may not like, your parents are being given all your data of how the classroom is. The lesson plan is uploaded on ERP. The course descriptor is uploaded earlier. The timetable is uploaded there, which there are rights for your parents and for you to share. So we have tried to build up a comprehensive ecosystem which pushes you to do your very best with the support of the infrastructure, faculty, system processes, international connect, globally benchmark curriculum. So we have tried to move all this. But above all, it is in a university system. Our courses are recognized across the world. You don't have to wait or anyone for a visa, because at times I've known visas of other institutes which are not part of the ecosystem or the law of the land, they get stuck. You will never have a problem with your loans because this is a legit operation. We are part of AIU, Association of Indian Universities. Karnavati is part of the Commonwealth Universities. So there are lots of places where we have, and we get huge delegations across the world. Today it was the American delegation which came. A few days back it's the Italian delegation. And once COVID is pulled out, a lot of international travel which is there now coming up our way. And we are like to connect. So one of the best few things is Safe City, a wonderfully go back curriculum, some of the best faculty which, let us say, money can buy, if not what to drive them towards moving from academia, from industry into academia. And that brings the connect. A CRC system which supports you, a graded portfolio system so that your portfolio is seen by someone, and a whole ecosystem of student support which gives you in you all those areas, soft skills, your skills to be successful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've said more than what is required, but as they say, seeing is believing. Our students are the best, and the testimonials they give and the places they reach are the biggest joy for us.
Thanks for that, Dr. Bose, Colonel Bose.
Yeah.
Akshay, I hope you've got your answer there. Parnika Rajesh Kumar is saying that she's applied to UID without the application link on DQ Edge. So hope it can be still considered as a DQ Lab student. We'll do that, Parnika. Just connect with Swati and she'll communicate with Gopal. Anika Ghosh says the packages that you mentioned, placement packages of the students you mentioned were truly amazing, but what would the average package of UID BDAS graduates be?
Yeah. So,
On this note, Colonel Bose, I was happy to see Andrew Godfrey is over there.
Yeah.
He's a student of DQ Labs. And
yeah, I know. And Andrew, miss, I would have I'd come that day to congratulate you, but I could find you that day. And I have a lot of discussions, and I'm sure he has shared this offer letter because it took some time to get it from them. So this is something of a landmark. But for Anika, it's a very good question. It's a very so I see that you already are so bright into asking the right question. If you saw my PPT, trying to find the right problem to solve and solving the world's problems, society, industry, tech is the job of the designer of today and tomorrow. So the packages are, no one gets less than 6 to 9 lakhs is the average as far as undergraduate students. There's a slight differential. The masters get a little bit more, so somewhere in the area of that. But what I'm most satisfied is that every package pre-COVID has got a 20 to 25% increase post-COVID. And that's something that by that time of COVID, where the world was in a lot of turbulence, things have mashed up and our students, without the recognition, well, it's not one person's effort, it's the whole ecosystem for people to recognize. A lot of CRC meets, so many. Our Ahmedabad Design International Global event gives us something. Would you believe that among the universities, we had the largest Garba event across India in a university, 4 or 5 days of getting some of the best known names into the campus. So it's not only we work very hard on the curriculum, but also work very hard on the field and the campus to give you that all-round holistic feel.
Thank you for that, Colonel Bose. Vidya Vishwanathan is asking, does the aptitude test have quantitative component?
Yeah.
What if somebody has dropped mathematics in class 10? Can they?
Since I'm since day before working on the test which is going to happen in 2023 January. So on my fingers are what composes the part A and part B. So to explain briefly, there's a 40 and a 60%. The 60% are detailed questions to bring in to understand how you have understood design in all its formats. The MCQ, which is where you have quantitative reasoning, you have factorization, you have something which is logic. So something is painted and you have to cull out parts of it. So it is not that you have to be a masters in maths to do quantitative. So it's quantitative, logic, reasoning. So there's a whole 5-6 parts of the MCQ. There are 1 number questions and there are 2 number questions. And that's 40% of the entire, and 60% are detailed. So you don't have to know or be part of maths. But there is, I would like to stress here, world over, the STEMs are finding a place in design, and design is finding a place in STEMs. So when you ask me a differentiator of UID, it is there in my brochure. It is there in all my talks. It is integrated education, where the TECH has to come into, whether it's in my interaction design, whether into understanding. So when you have to, I do creative coding, and beyond C++, move somewhere in the area of HTML, Java, web design, etc., and how we program it, certain amount of logic, not necessarily maths, but maths does help. Because if you see, when we go to TU Delft, we go to TU Berliner, we have faculty from IDC, old timers, emeritus being part of our. So that is the differentiation UID makes over all other design schools, even legacy design schools, whom we know the names, and I would like to tell, they have not made the curriculum ready for the future of design. Why is there a school of computation as a scaffolding around UID? Why are teachers, engineers, such designers coming to the class to teach you AI, ML? Certain amount of mathematics is generally required. I'm sure that comes in your 8, 9, 10 syllabus, and everyone has to get through that. So our STEMs related, the inflection of design and emerging technologies require a little bit, but it is like a general proficiency test, where many parts of it in your 40% of it. So it's not necessarily integration and a lot of statistical knowledge you need to have. It is basic knowledge of logical reasoning.
Yeah, and on those lines, I think those preparing from DQ Labs, by default, we do teach you the mathematics required to crack these entrance exams. So don't worry about it so much.
And also my 2 years of question papers will be uploaded on the website. Gopal will attest for it, that my question papers are there. So you can get an understanding of some of it with changes, but we don't do drastic changes.
Yeah. Right. Last couple of questions. I think we've overshot time quite a bit. There's been good questions come in, so we've had to overshoot time. But last couple of questions I'm going to take from Runalini Rao. You mentioned international master classes. Is this available for regular BDES and GDP program, or is this only for GDP program? What does international master class cover?
Yeah, so it is meant for everyone. It is even meant for the law students and part of, because I head what is called the head of the KU Global. So all the delegations which come, we look at it, and we are a little bit selfish of looking after UID, so let me be very frank about it. But the fact is that it is not GDP, any international masterclass, any international portfolio development by faculty from the London School of Fashion, or someone of Central St. Martin's, or someone from Glasgow School of Arts, or someone from some of these other known institutions, would not be tier 1 or A class, even second class, when they come in the overall QS standing, because none of our MOUs are below QS 100 rank. Please look it up and let me know. We are very conscious with whom we are dealing with, and they are equally conscious with whom they are dealing with. And most of it is through recommendations from our international partners. You can't get into the high table of a top level association without some of the recommendations coming from people who know you. And people have known us for the last so many years, since the time we were built in 2012. 24th July is our foundation day. What is called the groundbreaking ceremony was by late Kumar Vyas, who built whole NID. So we carry a lot of responsibility on our shoulders to look at the future of design, look at the future of designers. Therefore, we put our heart and soul. Please see, I'm today, it's what, 6:15 till 7:30, because the other guy, David, is from Santa Fe, is waiting for me at 6:30. I'll leave at 7:30. And so a lot of faculty who work quite hard to make UID what UID should stand for.
Okay, and thank you. And the last question again from Runalini Rao. Regarding placements, you said you help students better prepare by helping them in resume preparation, portfolio, etc. But do you also have a placement cell or a placement drive like corporates coming on day 0, day 1, and something like what happens in engineering colleges?
Yeah, so that's again a very good question, Brilani. Thank you very much. So if you saw my slide, it was all the corporate resource center. The corporate resource center is part and parcel of UID. The staff who manage it sit along with the HOD. So they are ingrained into each department, the ecosystem of the department, to project that department and the students of that department. So it's not only student staffing from CRC, but also staffing of a SPOC or the points of contact within the department. They prepare you at various places, they project you, they have pre-placement talks. So if you see some of our on the Insta, etc., there are pre-placement talks. And when I'm saying all this, I have to report the same to NAC. I have to report the same to UGC inspections. So I can't, even if I consciously want, I can't tell you anything which is not par for the course, as they say, because these are projections, my placement records, my what people get as placement, my 100% internship record, all have to be uploaded on my website and handed over to NAC, which will be coming, or handed over to UGC inspection. So at no stage can I say anything which is not what I'm telling in front of you. So not only is there a CRC, there's also pre-placement talks, there are faculty. So when we have our, so let's say if I share with you my faculty development during the summers, I had chief design officers from Deloitte, from TCS, from IBM, from Adobe, from Microsoft, telling my faculty how to develop the students as to what is the ask there. So I have to do a 360 scan of the ecosystem, put it in the CRC. So CRC have to every second week give me a report, which is called their MIS. They have to give their travel record, whom all they have met. They have to give the details of the hard calls and code calls they have made to get a projection. And each HOD and the whole graded portfolio management system's job is to get how you become the soft skills which are required to succeed. Beyond this and beyond everything else, like there is a DQ lab, I have leadership lab. So when I say Praxis 3.0, when I say Kriya, when I say Modus, when I say something in the area of Edge, etc., these are managed by students. And that type of management skills are imbued into them by working for the students' council, for working in all these projects. Some go for distribution, some go for managing these items. So when the entire global event called the Ahmedabad Design Week happens, where we get global thought leaders from across the world, it is managed, part of it is managed by students who manage how the logistics of it, who manage how at the command center things are distributed. This is what is projected in their concept paper as part of the leadership lab jury, which happens every semester. So it is not only that that skills are developed by an interaction between some top people and students, but also they have to actually live it during the 4 years to gain that type of confidence. So when you are going to ask for a fund from an incubator, so you have to make your concept paper. You have to say what you want to. You have to give a dream of 5 years of projection. You can ask a business student to help you in the business plan. You can ask a law student who's staying with you in the hostel or in the same campus, eating in the same mess, to help you on some of the criteria for this. So it's a very, very inclusive system of trying to develop you to be responsible and future designers.
Right, Kalbos. There's a last question here, but if you can quickly answer this from Vidya Vishwanathan. What percentage of students get placed at UID?
So, as far as internships are concerned, which is part of my semester 7, it is 100%. I have to report to my board. I will lose my job if it is not 100%. As far as the placements are concerned, they go in 3 directions. Placements in the international arena also means internship, but I'm not going that street. I'm going to the street which answers the question. So there are 3 types of exits, and we do exit interviews before everyone goes as part of the learning for faculty and the HO. Students 80 to 90 go for masters abroad. So some of the top institutions, because they think that there is value, their parents think, their community thinks, and they have a whole ecosystem outside India which thinks that doing a masters abroad gives them a better ROI, a better standing once they return. So that is one part. Some are propelled into the area of startups incubation by 2 of the incubators which are within the campus, and rest are placed. I will not be wrong in telling that within the people who are going, at least we aim for anything up to 95% placement. I'm sure I will not tell you it is 100%, but between 95 to 97%. Why am I saying that? I have to report all this, where they are placed, the offer letters, the seal of the company. So when I have to give this detail and I have to project it on the website of KU for the internal meeting before the board of studies happens, before the academic council happens, before the board of governors happen, and before the board of management happens. There's a whole stream of structures within the university system created by UGC and the NEP 2020. I can't give a wrong information. So how much they're getting, where they're getting, the offer letter stamped by the company has to be uploaded. So as far as I'm concerned, I would like to hit 100%, but anywhere between 95 to 97, get the placement. We also have a system where anyone who doesn't want to place signs a format at least 6 months before the campus placements begin. So everything is very meticulously process and system oriented.
Okay, and thank you, Colonel Bose. And with that, you have a call at 6:30, and you've been patiently answering questions. Thank you so much for that. Very happy to have you here. Gopal is someone who's always on the ball, making sure that things happen. Thank you, Gopal, for being a big support to DQ Labs and the students of DQ Labs.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Most importantly, so for all of y'all here, Gopal is your single point contact. His details are available with Swati. Gopal, if you'd like to share your contact details in the chat box, you can do that.
Yeah.
And anyone can connect with you directly. Okay.
I'll have one last word before DQ Labs. No, it's especially the part run by IITians. So if you see my School of Industrial Design and the Product Design Department, 85% faculty are IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati, and they have done their bachelor's in engineering or other places, or they are part of the MDes, BDes from. Even at least 60% of my PhDs are either from IIT Powai or they are from IIT Guwahati. So I have great, I feel very proud that we are also partly run by IITs, at least one school.
Absolutely. Right, Colonel Bose. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And Vidya Vishwanathan, I'm glad you've enjoyed the session.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
this is not this. The world doesn't stop here. The conversation don't stop here. Please feel free anytime to ask Gopal. It'll be our job. And I hope everyone the best of luck. May you get any institution which you think you should get into. We are just part of explaining a journey of what we do best as part of bringing design across India, that tomorrow it is not only Make Up India, Startup India, Stand Up India. It is design in India which we are looking at.
All right. I'm sharing Swati's phone number. So please connect with Swati and you'll get the contact details of the UID team. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Leon, sir. Thank you for the opportunity as always. Thank you.
Gopal.
Wonderful
Thanks.
session. Thank you, sir. Bye.
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 Okay. See you. Yeah. All the best. All the best, Dion. You're doing a wonderful job.